Guys, have you ever walked down a street and felt the buzz of a new city and then suddenly got that gut feeling to watch your back? Whether you're thinking of relocating, planning a holiday, or just curious about life across the UK, knowing where crime hits hardest isn't about panic. It's about being prepared. Because the truth is that, while England is full of charming green villages and vibrant beauty of cities, there are a few places where the crime stats tell a darker story. Stories of theft, violence, and communities struggling behind the scenes. So today in this video, we are going to take you on a journey through the top 10 most dangerous towns in England, based on the latest police data from August 2025. And trust me, some of these names will surprise you. Now, this is not about painting any town with a bad brush. Every city has its good and bad areas, and people working hard to make things good and better for live. But when it comes to your safety, awareness is power. Using the latest data, we have looked at police-recorded crimes across England. Over 5.3 million incidents, not even counting fraud. To make things fair, we're looking at the crime rate per 1,000 people, so big cities and small towns can be compared equally. Let's break down the top 10 towns with the highest crime rates and explain what's really happening behind those numbers. At number 1, Westminster, London. 432 crimes per 1,000 people. When most people hear Westminster, they picture postcard images, Big Ben glowing against the evening sky, the grand sweep of Parliament, red double-decker buses crossing the Thames. And yes, it's stunning, but beneath the history and ceremony is a side of Westminster that rarely makes it into the tourist brochures. Here's the thing. Westminster is the beating heart of London's tourism, with millions of visitors from around the world. It's also the crime capital of England, topping the list with a staggering 432 crimes for every 1,000 residents. That's more than 4 times the national average. Theft is the big offender here, over 300 incidents per 1,000 people. And it's not hard to see why. Tourists stop to snap photos, clutching maps, holding expensive phones out in the open. Pickpockets thrive on that distraction. And while violent crime here is less common than in some areas, robbery is sky-high, more than 6 times the England average. This is especially true in busy nightlife areas, where cash, cards, and phones change hands constantly. Westminster is a place of beauty and power, but it's also a place where, if you're not careful, you might leave with fewer possessions than you arrived with. Number 2, Camden, London. 195 crimes per 1,000 people. Camden is electric. The moment you step off the tube, you're hit with the smell of sizzling street food, the sound of live guitars drifting from a nearby bar, and the kaleidoscope of market stalls selling everything from vintage leather jackets to neon rave gear. It's one of the most vibrant, creative districts in London, but with all that life comes risk. Camden records almost 200 crimes for every 1,000 residents, putting it nearly double the national average. Theft dominates, at 124 per 1,000. Bag snatches in busy markets, phones swiped from pub tables, bikes disappearing from outside apartments. Robbery rates here are also high, 8 per 1,000. And if you've ever tried to navigate Camden High Street on a Saturday, you'll understand why. Crowds are shoulder to shoulder, music is blaring, and your attention is everywhere except your belongings. Don't get me wrong, Camden is thrilling, but it's the kind of thrill where you keep your bag zipped, your wallet in your front pocket, and your wits about you. Number 3, Middlesbrough, Seaside. 162 crimes per 1,000 people. Middlesbrough is a town with grit. It's a place built on steel and industry, where the skyline is a mix of old warehouses and modern football stadiums. But behind the proud history lies a difficult truth. Middlesbrough has the highest crime rate outside London. Here, violent offenses are alarmingly common. 58 per 1,000 residents, nearly double the national average. And we're not just talking about pub scuffles. Police deal with serious assaults, knife incidents, and gang-related disputes. Theft and antisocial behavior also keep the force busy, with incidents ranging from shoplifting in the high street to damage and disorder in residential estates. Economic struggles have played a big part in these stats. Decades of job losses in heavy industry have left their mark, and while regeneration projects are underway, the social challenges are deep-rooted. If you visit, you'll find warm, welcoming people, but you'll also notice a certain edge in the air. A sense that this is a town that's had to fight hard for everything it's got. Number 4. Kensington and London. 157 crimes per 1,000 people. Kensington and Chelsea is home to some of the most expensive real estate in the world. Rolls-Royces glide past designer boutiques, Michelin-starred restaurants serve up perfection, and immaculate townhouses line quiet streets. It's glamorous, and that's exactly the problem. All that wealth makes it a magnet for thieves. The borough sees 157 crimes per 1,000 people, and theft is by far the biggest contributor. Pickpockets and bag snatchers target luxury shopping districts and tourist-heavy museums, while organized gangs go after designer goods. Unlike in some other boroughs, poverty isn't the driver here. Opportunity is. A single stolen handbag in Kensington might be worth thousands. The area is generally safe in terms of violent crime, but opportunistic theft is rampant. For locals, it's a minor inconvenience. For visitors, it can be a very expensive lesson in why you should never get too comfortable. Number 5. Blackpool, Lancashire. 156 crimes per 1,000 people. Blackpool is the UK's most famous seaside resort. The Tower, the illuminations, the pier. On a sunny day, the promenade buzzes with families eating fish and chips, hen parties in full swing, and kids darting in and out of arcades. But Blackpool's crime rate tells a different story. 156 crimes for every 1,000 people, and one of the highest rates of violent crime in the country at 69 per 1,000. Seasonal tourism is part of the problem. Summer brings an influx of visitors, but also a spike in drunk disorder, theft, and even assaults. For the police, it's like managing a festival that lasts all year. And when the holidaymakers leave, Blackpool faces long-standing economic challenges, with pockets of deprivation that fuel crime through the colder months. It's a town of contrasts, sparkling lights on the outside, real struggles underneath. Number 6. Manchester. 156 crimes per 1,000 people. Manchester is a city of music, sport, and culture, but it's also a city where crime is part of the urban landscape. With 156 crimes per 1,000 people, Manchester's stats are driven by violent offenses, 55 per 1,000, and theft, 49 per 1,000. The city's vibrant nightlife is legendary, but it's also where a lot of these incidents happen. Bar fights, muggings, and phone theft are common after midnight. The sheer size and diversity of Manchester make it unique. You can be walking past a stadium concert one moment and a quiet canal the next, but the risks change depending on where you are and when. For visitors, the advice is simple. Enjoy the energy, but don't switch off. Number 7. Hartlepool, Cleveland. 141 crimes per 1,000 people. Hartlepool is smaller than most cities on this list, but don't let that fool you. Its crime rate is 141 per 1,000 people, with violence making up a big chunk, 51 per 1,000. The town has a strong sense of community, but also faces persistent challenges: antisocial behavior, petty theft, and occasional serious assaults. It's a place where everyone seems to know everyone else, which is both comforting and, sometimes, complicating for law enforcement trying to break certain crime cycles. Number 8. Islington, London. 137 crimes per 1,000 people. Islington is stylish, trendy, and full of life. You'll find street markets selling artisan food, small theaters putting on edgy productions, and rows of Victorian townhouses. But it's also one of London's top spots for theft, from phone snatches to bike thefts. Nearly 900 bicycles were stolen here in a single year. Violent crime is lower than in some boroughs, but robbery is still a concern, especially at night near nightlife districts. Islington is the kind of place where you can have a perfect evening out, as long as you don't give anyone the chance to make off with your belongings. These towns are not no-go zones. They're living, breathing communities with people who care deeply about where they live. But the reality is that crime shapes daily life in different ways across England. Being aware of these statistics doesn't mean avoiding these places. It means knowing how to protect yourself when you're there. So, whether you're exploring the canals of Camden, the beaches of Blackpool, or the historic streets of Lincoln. Stay alert, stay informed, and enjoy what each place has to offer without becoming another number in the crime stats. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got more deep dives coming, looking into the UK's safest towns, hidden gems, and how local communities are fighting back against crime. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss what's next. Stay safe, stay smart, and we'll see you in the next video.